These can be physical storms. When you're given warnings about a physical storm that is coming your way, whether it be a storm that has tornadoes in it, large hail, torrential winds, the storms bring about massive flooding, damage. They can uproot you, they can destroy your homes and things like that. You got to get ready for the storms, and you need to think about these storms in the storms of life too. Just like in the physical world, when you have a warning, when you see a storm brewing, when the storm is brewing, we have weathermen, we have people who are experienced in that area, meteorologists. They keep track of these storms that form. They do. And they study them. They study their potential impact wherever they're going. And they look at the people who are around, and they take into note whether the people live in trailers, whether they're out and about. They tell them to take shelter, get to whatever place. We got massive flooding that's going to come with this. You got to be on your guard. They're telling you, they warn you even when the storms are on the ground. The tornadoes are headed your way. They warn you. They've been spotted. It's making a beeline straight toward your house. Think of it in the spiritual realm. Think of it in the spiritual realm. You know that you've had storms come into your life. The storms in some people's lives, they never stop. They just keep coming and coming and coming and coming. You've got to be ready. You've got to heed those warnings. You've got to heed the warnings about the storms that you can see in the distance. You can see it like probably even many years down the road. There's people who can see many years down the road. They can see into tomorrow and the next day and the next day and next day. They can see based on the circumstances around you. You got predictive programming. Predictive programming is at play. They can see what's happening. You've got to prepare for the storms, just like you do in this physical world when the storms are coming. If you see a tornado coming and you are in your car and you are on a highway, do you just want to keep driving straight toward? I think I want to go straight toward that tornado. No, you want to get to a safe place. If there's a ditch, you want to get out of your car. You want to get into a ditch. You want to get into a place of safety. You do not want to go straight toward it, knowing the destruction that it packs with it. You do not want to do it. That's common sense. When you see the storms coming, you want to get out of the path. When you see the waters rising, you don't want to stay somewhere to where you're going to drown. You want to at least find a boat or something, get out of the way. Get to a place of safety, protect yourself, protect your loved ones. You want to do it when these storms come. They can come in any way. Anyway, they can be financial, they can be physical, whatever these storms are. You got to get ready. And you have personal storms that come into your life too. You have storms that come into your family. You have storms in the workplace. You can see them. You can see the storm forming. You can see it. You can see the storms forming just like they can see the storms forming with their satellite images. They can see them. They can measure all kinds of things that this storm is going through. All kinds of it. They even put planes up in the sky, flying into the tornadoes. They prepare. They have got everything covered more or less when these physical storms come into your life so that they can give you warning. You've got to take the warnings that aren't the physical storms, that are the emotional storms, that are those personal storms that come into your life. You've got to heed the warnings. You've got to heed the warnings. This is a warning. Heed the warnings. You've got to get prepared. You can't just say, oh, well, I think something might happen. No. Think. Take that further than your think. Prepare. But that's the message. You got to prepare. You've got to get ready. We've got to get prepared. There are things that are brewing out there, and they're affecting us all. Whether they ain't affecting me right now, they're going to affect you. They're going to have a domino effect. They're going to have a domino effect. You've got to get ready right there. You've got to get strong on the inside of your being. Very, very strong. We got a map. If you are watching this video, you're somewhere on that map. You are somewhere on that map in this world. You're somewhere. You've got to get yourself ready. You got to get your family ready. You got to get ready. You've got to get Get your house in order. Get your spiritual house in order. Get your physical house in order. Get your life in order. Wake up. You got to wake up. Now, you don't have to wake up. You want to be asleep. There's warning signs all around. All you have to do is turn on the TV, you turn on the computer, turn on your phone. You can see the headlines. The warnings are everywhere. They don't have the word warning. Oh no, you can see by the headlines what's occurring. And when you go looking further than the headlines and you go doing your own search, you're finding out there's warning signs even more that they're not even putting out there, you all. They're not putting out the warning signs. Tell me if this is true. I heard that 10 million heads of cattle, I didn't look it up. I heard somebody say it. 10 million heads of cattle were destroyed in the fires in Texas. Is that true? I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be my baby. I heard it through the grapevine. Honey, honey, babe. No. 10 million heads of cattle. Good morning. Did you hear it? You got one last sip of coffee. I'm going to take that sip. I'm going to do it. Got it. Got it. Did anyone hear anything about 10 million heads of cattle? You feel it's a massive storm. It's a massive storm, and it has all kinds of, like, you know how they have little, the tornadoes come, and then these tornadoes make even more tornadoes? That's a storm. It's like that. Tornadoes, these other storms are coming. You didn't hear it? I heard the word 10 million heads of cattle were lost. And I don't know if it was true or not with the fires. That is the food supply. That's the food supply. You're thinking a Monster. Oh, you're drinking a Monster. You needed some to-go juice in this morning. Well, honey, you get that go-go juice. Get your energy. If it's going to get you up and moving your head and get your energy going. Only you know what gets you going. That's right, you all. No. You've got to get yourself ready. You've got to get prepared for the storms that are coming. You've got to do it. And they're going to affect you. Even though you may not say, well, it doesn't affect me now. I don't care what's going on in the world. I'm just going to ignore it. Do my own thing. Go ahead and do your own thing. Ignore it. Don't prepare. Don't prepare. Don't even raise that level of awareness within your being, if that's how you feel. Don't even raise the level of awareness. Awareness is the key to preparing, especially on the inside. Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know what's coming your way? Whether it be a real tornado, a real storm, an earthquake. When you see all these earthquakes, these small earthquakes starting to cluster in certain areas, and then you see a great big one, and then you see another one, and then you know that the pressure's got to be released. Don't you want to be prepared? Well, they've been telling us to prepare all of our life. It's coming, it's coming. Well, one day it's going to come. It's going to come. But you want to be prepared. You don't need to go crazy and lose your mind in your preparations, but you got to be vigilant. You got to be able to think straight. You got to be able to look around, because the signs are popping up. They're popping up all over the place. You've got to get ready. You got to get yourself ready. That's right. God wants you to prepare. My people die for lack of knowledge. Okay, you got to prepare. Even Joseph in the Bible, Pharaoh, they stored up how many years? 7 years. 7 years they stored up that grain and stuff because a famine was coming. A massive famine was coming. They prepared. And when that supply chain completely breaks down and those crops get really destroyed by some unforeseen events, when those cattle and the chickens, all of that, these things start getting destroyed. The plants start getting destroyed. The production plants, the trees that produce the fruit and stuff. When the crops wither, when the crops are frozen, they don't even get a chance. You got to get prepared. You've got to get yourself prepared. You got to get ready on the inside of your being. You've got to get strong. You may need to get your body in shape too. I'm just saying, get your body, strengthen your body, strengthen your muscles. You want to be able to be as mobile as possible. You want to be able to move around, physically move without, I can't bend over that far. Then bend over a little each day, stretch a little each day. And before you know it, you'll be able to stretch more and it won't be as painful. You've got to get yourself ready. Spiritually, you got to get ready for the storms that are coming. They are coming and they are here. And they're going to be one right after the other. And some of these storms are going to come without warning. And we have been warned by the WEF, the few, that a catastrophic mutating event will occur within 2 years. A catastrophic mutating event, they compared it to the cyber event like a virus. You've got to be prepared. That's in 2025. And if you looked at that thing that I shared something yesterday. I found it. I found this thing about the 25 years is what I found. Let me see if I can get to it. Let me, 25 years. I got to come over to my YouTube channel. If I can, I'm going to turn off this thing. See if I can get to my YouTube. See if I can see what I'm going to go to my channel. And I'm going to show you this. If you haven't seen it. It was a video right here. The Alternative Future 2025. Let me do this. You have to ask yourself, why did they take it to 2025? Why did they take it to 2025? Let's go back to the very beginning. Alternative futures, and they had a lot of the alternative futures. Don't that look like the Anunnaki wings or something like that? It does. It was like 1 minute and 16 seconds long. This was the military. This is the future. They had different scenarios that would happen in this future. I would encourage you to go look at it. I didn't say nothing in it. And I figured, you know, if you were interested in it, you could look up the title and you could find it yourself. They named these things. They named these things, these plausible history. They named something Gulliver's Travails. Gulliver's, these possible futures that they may be facing. Whatever this is, I have no idea what a Zaibatsu, but they've got it all planned out. It sounded like something, a digital cacophony. This was from 1996. 1996. These thinking heads from somehow King Kong. I know that included China. King Kong. Let's see what else it's got. Whatever the haves and the haves not. We already live in a world where you have the haves and the haves not. They're preparing for that too. They had somehow something happened. 2015 crossroads. There was a crossroads in 2015. Whatever that was, I have no idea. That's like when you got crossroads in your life. And they had conclusions. Long range planning. Long range planning. They even planned for the nanotechnology. The nanotechnology, all of it, you all. There's something going on. You got to get yourself prepared. Yeah, why did they stop at 2025? Because things change in 2025. That's when the catastrophic mutating event is going to occur too. And then you got the 2030. The 2030. There's lots of change that's coming, and you know the change is coming, but you may not be preparing. You may say it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect you. It's going to have a domino effect. You got to get ready for the storms that are coming your way in your life. You do. And if you got a family, you got to prepare for your family too. You got to get strong on the inside. You got to be the tower. You got to be that great big beacon of light. You cannot let your strength falter in times of trouble. When the going gets tough, you got to get tough. You got to get tough on the inside. You got to get strong. You got to be able to think clearly. You do not want to panic. You don't want to panic because you haven't strengthened yourself on the inside to be ready for what's coming. You've got to get strong on the inside so you don't panic when said events start happening and when they start coming into your life and affecting you. Hello. Kevin, honey, let me read what you wrote. God is spirit, and the underworld is physicality because of the slow rate of vibration. This is Satan's world of shadow. Earth is surrounded by chaos, but God is moving her out of the hell realm. I like that, Kevin. I do. The book of the lot of Noah. You got to have courage. It comes right along with it. You got to be grounded in the love on the inside, the God's love right there. Grounded in love right here. Get yourself grounded. You want the peace that comes inside you, because when the peace comes inside you, it cleans up on the inside of you and causes you to think more clearly. Your thinking is not all scattered, or you're not pushed, and your brain ain't all over the place. Your brain is not all over the place. You gotta think straight. There's too many distractions in this world that are literally causing people not to be able to think straight and reason within themselves. You got to be able to think within yourself too. You got to make the right choices in your life. You got to tell yourself, well, if I go this way, this is probably going to happen. More likely it will happen. If I go this way, this is going to happen. And they may not be good. You know which direction you need to go in your life, which direction you need to start walking toward, because it looks good for you, but you know which direction you do not want to walk toward, because you know it does not look good. And sometimes you have to go back there, but you don't stay there. You do not stay there. You got to get ready for the storms that are coming, because they're just like the physical storms that come, these hurricanes, these tornadoes, this torrential flooding and stuff. They warn you ahead of time. They want to keep you prepared so that you can stay out of danger. They even do it when the tornado is on the ground. They tell you which county you live in. It's heading straight this way. You better take cover. If you're in a trailer, your trailer could get destroyed. You need to get to a place of safety. Go into the basement. Go into whatever. They have these drills. They tell you to get prepared, how to get prepared. They tell you up to the last minute. It's like a train is headed your way, and you're standing on that train track, and they're telling you, get off the track. The train is coming, and you can see it coming, and you don't get off the train track. Well, then you're going to become one with the train track. One with the train track, because you did not heed the warning. You're going to become one with the train track. You will. Because these trains of life, this fast speeding train, just like these storms, they're not going to move for you. They're not. Well, they can. There was a tornado that was headed this way. It was several years back when the one that hit Henryville, Indiana. I can't remember what year it was. It was an F4 tornado that came through. I could hear it snap in the trees, and I wrote Jesus on my house. I took some chalk. When they said the storm was coming, the tornado was coming because the weather was getting rough, I took some chalk and I wrote Jesus on all four walls, and I laid my hands on all four walls of my house. I did. And I prayed against it. And it was supposed to be coming that way. I could hear it go. You could hear it. That storm literally curved. It went up into the woods. You could see and you could hear the trees snapping. You could hear all the trees snapping where that tornado, because it was on ground, it made a path. It went that way. It went past the church. Then it did tore roofs off houses and stuff. It went to Henryville, and it practically laid that little town flat in the area right off of 265. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I could not believe it. It's a powerful, like, storm came. People lost their lives. People's homes got destroyed. Prayer does work. Prayer does work. Unless you don't believe in it, then don't you even waste your breath praying, because it's the energy that's coming. It's the vibration that's coming from you. It's the intent that's coming from you. If you don't believe in prayer and you just say, well, God save me, there's no intention behind it. There is no belief behind it. There is no faith behind it. There is no power behind it. It's what's coming from your heart, no matter what it is. It's the frequency that's right in here that makes all the difference right here. You can say anything you want. You can pray anything you want. If your heart is not connected to your words, it's just no. You got to get yourself strong on the inside, spiritually strong for these storms that are coming. You've got to get prepared spiritually. There's no way you're going to make it. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it if you're not strong enough on the inside of your being. You're not going to make it. Gina, that's not very nice. Well, I'm sorry. How about this is my personal opinion. You're not going to make it if you are not spiritually strong on the inside of your being, if you're not grounded in the love of God, the love right here on the inside. This is where it is, right here. It'll carry you through the storms of life. It'll carry you through all the hard times that you have to go through, all the physical things that you have to face. It will carry you through it. That's right. You'll soar on wings like eagles. That's what you'll do. You won't grow weary and you won't faint. You'll have the strength within to do it. You will have the strength within. You've got to get prepared. There's storms coming. Now's not the time to be idle. It's like the sluggard turns on his bed. And like the lazy person, they're too lazy to stick their hand in the dish and bring it back to the mouth to even eat. That's how lazy some people are getting. You don't want to do nothing for yourself. You don't want to get prepared. You don't want to do nothing for yourself. And if you got a family, and if you're a person who don't want to do nothing, you just want to sit around all day, not prepare, knowing that things are happening, and you got children and stuff, that's not very nice. You're the adult. You are the adult. Somebody's got to take the lead in the family. And if it's not the husband, it can be the wife. If it's not the man, it should be the woman. Sometimes it's the children, the adult children, the teenagers that have to do something. There's got to be somebody who's strong enough to step up to the plate to get it going. You got to be strong. And it's not easy for some people, especially if you're the strong one in your family and you're facing obstacles within your family. Everybody's against you and you're trying to prepare. It's not easy. It's not easy to stand in that type of strength with all that opposition around you. But you got to, you got to be strong. You got to be strong. You got to be brave. You got to be courageous to stand up against it. You can't just cave in and give up, because that diminishes you. You diminish on the inside. No, you stand in your strength no matter what you're facing. You stand in your strength despite what people are saying, despite the opposition that's coming against you. You be that strong tower. Be that strong tower. Don't worry about what other people say. Tune it out. Your strength is coming from the inside of here, right here. You get prepared for the storms that are coming. Get prepared for the storms that are strengthen yourself for the storms that may already be happening in your life right now. Get that strength within. Some people call the strength Jesus, God, love. The strength is on the inside. That's where your strength comes from. And you like that verse. My strength comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. I found a Thomas Kinkade painting, or somebody threw it out in Hawaii. They set it on the side of the curb and the water had got to it. It was a little ripply. It was beautiful. That's what it said. My strength comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. It was a great big picture, about like as big as this right here. I thought, wow, I love it. I love it. I do love it. Yeah, I'm going to go get yourself prepared for the storms that are coming. You're warned about the physical storms, the band of tornado that has torrential rainfall, golf ball size hail and stuff. Take cover, get your family, get to a lower part of get in the basement, get yourself protected. They even warn you when it's headed your way on the ground. If you're that type of person who don't even want to hear it, and you have a family and the physical storm's coming and you do nothing, and no, prepare. Spiritually and physically, don't ignore the warnings that are all around. Don't do it. You do so to your own detriment, and then you put other people's lives at risk when you ignore the warnings. You do. I'm going to go. With that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. So I'm going to ask this question again. Did anyone hear that 10 million heads of cattle were destroyed in the fires that were in Texas? Was it just mere grapevine? Was it just a mere grapevine? 10 million heads of cattle is a lot. It is. 10 million heads of cattle. Not to mention all the other types of food that we consume. Yeah. Willie Wayne, honey, let me tell you something. You must be a martyr for Christ. You know what somebody said? I read it too. Martyrs live to die. I'm not living to die. I'm not living to die. They had a quiet thing. I'm not going to have that mindset that I'm going to be a martyr and I'm going to die. No, I'm going to be a survivor. I'm going to do everything that I can while I'm here on this earth. I'm going to survive. I am. And when this body is no more, when my time on earth is done and my soul, my spirit leaves this body for whatever reason, then I'll go back to where I came from. This is just a vessel. It's just a vessel. This physical body can get destroyed, but not my soul. Not my soul, not my spirit, not my strength, not my courage, not my love. You can't be destroyed by this world or anything within this world, because this world didn't give it to me. And this world can't take it away. Even though it takes away my physical body, it's fine. It can't take away my true essence, and it can't take away your true essence that's within you. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to this channel. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Love you.